morning, Mehryn. How are you?
Good morning. It looks like I match our slide. I didn't do that on purpose.
Halloween, right?
Yeah. Orange. It's a good color. Happy Friday.
That kind of morning. Welcome, everybody, to Selling Microsoft Teams Rooms, the fastest 10 minutes of Microsoft Teams news for the week. Mehryn, I say it a lot, and I'm going to say it again. You and I just went through this. We have a lot this week.
I know. Every week. One week we'll say, we don't have that much this week, but this is a good one. Like a lot of productivity tips. I put that in the chat. Like I spent a good 45 minutes this morning watching some of the links that we put together here. You're going to want to bookmark a few of these, but all really good tips.
Well, why don't we start with Microsoft earning results and a lot of news around Teams rooms, around Teams devices.
Yeah, some exciting. The biggest one is we reached a big number, 300 million monthly active users on Teams. That's just incredible. Hard to kind of wrap your head around it, but that's how many people are on the platform that we love and talk about every single day.
And our specific category, Microsoft Teams Rooms, has been growing exponentially every single month, where it actually made it into the earnings call. They're talking about it. They are referring to it. It's important to understand how important this category is because, Mehryn, I'm going to say it a lot during this thing. You can't have Teams Rooms without talking about Teams.
Exactly. Very interwoven, but you can see the acceleration of adoption of not only Teams Rooms, but phone premium as well. You're going to see those products categorized together a lot in the future, but great momentum overall and a good earnings call, really.
Great earnings call and the era of AI. Mehryn, we can't go a single week without talking about AI, and there's a lot more in here as well.
I think we're going to see it every single week. So this is a good blog to check out that came out this week. You're going to see a lot of new features, and we're going to talk about a few of them today, actually, of how we're seeing new AI features embedded into every single solution that we offer.
Correct, and I've heard internally different people referring to how much this is advancing the things that we do, and many things that you're going to see in the future. They've done 10 years of development in almost 4 months of time. Amazing. That's how fast all of this is going. So check out this blog post as well. And speaking of AI, Mehryn, a new tool.
This was so fun. I was tempted to play around with this for more than like 30 minutes this morning. I was in there. Like I said, design a LinkedIn post for me for the Teams Rooms upcoming boot camp. And it just did it for me within 20 seconds and it looked awesome. So it's free and it's just a little link there. Add it to your favorites. It's awesome. Like what kind of similar to Adobe, right? Like I think it's simpler in my mind. Very, very cool.
Some people may have Photoshop, other tools and everything else. This was really cool. Again, it's a free app that's in premium features available. But we're also looking at so many more things. Security for Microsoft Teams. I'm going to say it again. You can't have Teams Rooms without talking about Teams and new security inside of Teams. Ilya Bookstein, a lot of the product group talk about the advantages of the new architecture that we're going to, and also why we're moving to Windows 11 to make sure that 100% that pillar. Remember, Mehryn, we've got 4 pillars. That one pillar of security is always on our mind.
Arguably the most important, and obviously why we're headed in that direction. So Windows 11, I think we talked about it last week on the roadmap for Teams Rooms. Always want to be on the latest, greatest because it's got a lot of security advantages. There's a lot of development happening there. Yeah.
And there's so many features that Teams is designed to take advantage of inside of Windows 11. 100% make sure you read this because it actually goes through all the security. And our friend Daryl actually put up a whole presentation about Loop. Mehryn, I've been using Loop, but this was a great video because he goes through it in real time.
Yeah, it's totally real. He walks through a meeting and how to use it, how to tag your teammates, how to set action items. So if you have not been using it and you want to learn how, it gives you real-time true tips on how to apply it to your workday. For me, it's been awesome. Like we're getting action items, we're getting alerts, we're assigning it to people. It's a new level of productivity that you'll really enjoy.
Yeah, and I really like the video because, like you said, it takes you through real-life activities that he's doing through there. Also, another video, 3 ways to collaborate inside a Teams meeting, Mehryn. You love this one.
I did, and it's another like real life. She walks you through. As a good opener, she uses whiteboard for 2 truths and a lie. So first 5 minutes, it's a good icebreaker. They actually already have a template in whiteboard that it's built for that 2 truths and a lie. So try that one. There's presenter mode. I didn't realize that there's new options for presenter mode. We do that all day, every day, but I just sometimes don't see the new features when they land. So she walks you through exactly what those are. So check it out.
And Mehryn, we're pointing this out because you cannot get this in a video standards room.
Yeah.
This is only in Microsoft Teams rooms, which is why we stress for everybody. The goal is to get to a Microsoft Teams room for your shared spaces so you can take advantage of all of these things that live inside of what you and I do sort of every day. Also, a new video that also came out that was about 20 minutes long, but it had a whole bunch of new things. Great opportunity for partners to share with their customers.
Yeah, this is a great commercial. If you're talking to them about signature rooms, share this video, add it to your bookmarks. Every single one of your customers needs to see this.
Yeah, great video there. Also, Mehryn, another opportunity to learn some things. Microsoft Build is coming up. Microsoft Build, Microsoft Inspire, all of these events. SharePoint, the SharePoint conference is next week. We are no longer just a one event company. Now it's coming more and more often, and you can see how many things are added every single week.
And we've been in planning mode for a lot of these events for some time, and there is a lot coming. I'm really excited for the next few months. So Build is kind of the first one, and I think Inspire is right July. So make sure you bookmark the dates because there's a lot coming here.
Yeah, even if you're not a developer, maybe you just want to learn something. Build is a great opportunity to go in and learn. And speaking of learning, our friend Randy Chapman on Empowering Cloud did a great video on complex spaces. Mehryn, we talk about it all the time. 1 in 10 spaces is outfitted for technology, and that 1 in 10 is probably that complex space.
Yeah, and these are the ones that usually, our partners are specialists at. I think he does a great job. It's around 20 minutes long, but these spaces can be quite challenging. So he walks you through the pitfalls, some recommendations, who the partners are. Really great job by Randy Chapman here. So
yeah, and our friends at Empowering.Cloud have a lot of videos like this up there that a great learning opportunity for not only about Teams rooms, Teams devices, Teams phones, everything that's there. Also, Mehryn, cloud.microsoft. Michael, you, me, we were just talking about this. And it was kind of like, remember, it's not cloud.microsoft.com. There's no .com. This is cloud.microsoft.
You were teaching me a little bit about this. This was in depth for me. This is a little more on the technical side, but something for everybody to be aware of as we move into the future for domain changes. Something to keep on your radar. So we'll drop the link and let you check it out. But this is some reading opportunity.
Yeah. I go to teams.microsoft.com. I go to sharepoint.com. I go to outlook.office. All of those different domains. We're going to try to simplify it, and we're going to attempt to do it. All of the information about how the domain change is going to go through is actually in this article. Great update and great way to learn. Also, we're going to go a little bit more technical. Mehryn, an extensive update on Teams rooms on Android. I think there's one bullet point here.
Yeah, it's troubleshooting or fixing bugs, right?
Fixing bugs.
Yeah.
You can't get more generic than fixes bugs. So there is a new firmware update out there for Teams rooms on Android. And speaking about that, release note for Teams rooms. Now Teams rooms on Android and Teams rooms on Windows inside of the same Learn article. You don't have to go searching for things. So understandably, we're making things a little bit better. Learn.microsoft.com is actually where we go for all of our information. That's where we stay. If you're having trouble finding things, we're going to try to make things a little bit easier. But as we do, this was a great one that popped up. Also, another one that popped up this week. We talk about new things all the time, but sometimes there's things that we forget about.
Yeah, so this is a tool that you can download to help monitor and troubleshoot any issues you might be having with your Teams Rooms device. So again, like I said, a lot of bookmarks. You might want to write these down and add them to your favorites. But this is a tool that came out, I want to say not this year, it might have been last year. But, as we talk about some issues or bugs that come up, this is a good tool to have in your tool belt if you're administering Teams Rooms.
Yeah, again, it's on learn.microsoft.com. If you want to go there, grab the tool, it's up there as well. Also, Mehryn, I also wanted to do a little bit more about, let's expose people to some things technically. Maybe they do know, maybe they don't know. Windows laps. I'm a big fitness buff. I like to do laps, but usually I'm doing around the buffet because that's where I do them, Mehryn. But Windows laps, this stands for Local Administrator Password Solution. It's about companies that want to actually rotate their passwords. We've all encountered customers that come up to us and say, hey, I want to rotate my password on this Teams Room device. How do I do it? Well, laps might be something if you're on-prem. It may be something that's coming as well. I'm not here to tell you that this is what it is, but you should understand what laps is when an administrator actually uses that term with you.
It's a new term for me, and I love a good acronym. And Jimmy does have the most steps of anybody I know. So He says he's going to the buffet, but he truly has more steps, like 20,000 a day plus. I mean, crazy. So
I try. I'm that active. I'm ADD, Mehryn, so I walk around the place. Together mode on Teams Rooms on Windows, Mehryn. It's finally come. I never use it on my desktop, but it's there on the room system now.
Yeah, lots. And we talked about it last week. Ilya teased there's going to be new things hitting the roadmap like every single day, it looks like. So we have a couple this week. This was the first of, I think, 3 that we had. So
yeah, it was a good one. Also, the Net Promoter Score survey on Teams Rooms on Windows. You might have closed out of a Teams meeting on your desktop. Notice that there's a new way of actually promoter score on the desktop side coming to Teams Rooms on Windows as well. Also, we've got track and pause automatic firmware updates for the Android-based systems. Thanks, Tom, for dropping this one in late, but this one's on the roadmap as well. Another important update to sort of keep light on. One upcoming event, Mehryn. We have been doing this for a couple of weeks now, but I think we're finally in a place where we can start to share some of the things that we're going to do on this. I've said on a couple of things. Our goal is for people to come back and say, that was too technical. We want to actually challenge you. We want you to come and see what we're going to do. So we're going to have Matt Slomka. We're going to have Tracy here. We're going to have experts that have actually done this 100%. We're not going to show you how to do one Teams room. We're going to show you how to scale and how to do things technically so that when you are going to a customer, even if you're just doing a proof of concept, you're setting up the right way for success.
Set some time prior to the boot camp. Take Jimmy's point. This is going to be level 400-ish. So make sure you're ready and refresh yourself on the technical content prior to these boot camps.
Yeah, and if you want more about all these things and everything else, make sure to join Michael Tressler for Teams Friday right after this. He and Martin will be doing a whole bunch of things. Like I said, Mehryn, there was a lot this week. We went through everything. Michael's got FOMO. He's going to cover all of the updates from Comms V Next. I saw so many good things out of Comms V Next. Mehryn, community, everybody have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Happy